where we are today, we're in the town of Conway in North Wales, which was built by the English, surprisingly, and it was seen as a very important crossing point between the River Conway and the inland areas of Wales. Now, the castle itself was built between 1283 and 1289. And the castle itself was built by Edward I, the King of England at the time, during his conquest of Wales. Now, it's mainly built from sandstone and limestone, the castle, and some of the areas of the walls are 15 feet thick, some of them, and there's about 142 arrow slits as well, so it was well protected, this castle. It was absolutely fantastic castle, and it was built by a vast amount of money in the time. For the period, it was £15,000, which equivalent today is around about £10.4 million. So this castle was a very, very expensive building for the period. Now, if you think of it, £10.4 million in today's money, it's a lot of money to build a house, but there's houses in London worth £10.4 million, and it's just the average price of a Premier League footballer these days. But back in the day, if you can imagine, this place was built to last, and as I say, it's 1289 is when it was finished, and it's still here today. So Conway's a really old town. Like I say, it dates back to the 1200s, and it's riddled with ghost stories and legends and the myths. And one of the, just to name a few of it, is Conway House, which is like an old merchant's house, and it's haunted by a figure of a man in Victorian clothing. Footsteps have been heard, plates smashing, doors banging, and also a lady in a Jacobean dress has been seen as well. So that dates it to, you know what I mean, it's proper old and full of ghost stories, this town. One of the other ones is a Timehare House, which is a merchant's house again, and the legend of this, that the master of the house was out, and his pregnant wife was holding a young son's hand and fell down the stairs, really injuring herself pretty bad. The maid of the house, or the housekeeper as she was known, she put him in one of the rooms called a lantern room, and then went to call for the doctor, who was a Dr. Dick, he was called. And by the time Dr. Dick come, he had a look at him in the lantern room, and he said, "There's no more I can do for him. They're dead, the pair of them." So the lady of the house, a son and the unborn baby were killed. So the housekeeper screamed and said, "I'll have to go and get the master." So she legged it out to go and get the master, locking the door behind her to the lantern room. And when the housekeeper and the master of the house returned, they opened the lantern room to find that the lady was dead, the child was dead, and there was no sign of the doctor. The doctor had completely disappeared, which is a mystery because the door was locked, and the only other way out was through the door. So whatever happened to Dr. Dick, we don't know. So as I said, it's riddled with myths and legends, this. And one of the ones what the fishermen know, even to this day, is the curse of the mermaid. Now, legend has it that the fishermen come back from having a day's fishing and they caught a mermaid in the nets. Now, they brought her into Conway Quay, and she pleaded with them to let her go. That she couldn't breathe because she was on land, and she pleaded, and they ignored her. And what the fishermen done was parade around the town of Conway to show everyone that they caught a mermaid. Now, as she was suffocating because she was on land, she actually died outside the old town hall of Conway. And before she died, she cursed the men of the town. She said that the disease and the harvest would be bad, and bad things would happen to the town. Unfortunately, she died, and a couple of months later, the old town hall itself burnt down to the ground, and people said that they could hear the mermaid laughing as the flames fanned around the old town hall. So that's one of the other mysteries of Conway. So here we are today, we're at Conway, and we're at the smallest house in Great Britain, which you can see behind me, also known as the Quay House. Now the building the house was built in the 16th century, and the back of the house is the actual walls of the old town walls, which used to run round Conway, as it was a walled town. So it was pressed against that. It was also a fill-in between cottages. Now there's a row of cottages, if you can see, to the left and to the right. The cottages went up to the right there, and this was like a fill-in between the cottages, and they made a house out of it, or a cottage you could say. And it was once home to couples have lived in this house, and also believe it or not, there was a family of six lived in this house. Now me and Anthony's been in it, and it's really small, so you can imagine a family of 6 living in this house. And the last known tenant what actually lived in it was Robert Jones. In 1900 was the last tenant. Now Robert was a fisherman, and he stood 6'3" in this house, and it was deemed he couldn't live in it by the council. The council were telling him he couldn't live in it, and eventually forcing him to move out of the property. But Robert's descendants, great grandchildren, still own the property, so it's still in the family, the Joneses family. This house, they still own it. So how good's that? Like that they used to do that. And Robert was a fisherman. He used to fish this harbour here, bring the fish home to the people of Conway, and he'd fish this harbour and returned home to his cottage. And it was pretty small, like the rooms are only small. In the room, living room itself is just like a fireplace. There's a bench to sit on, and underneath the steps was a tap purely for water. That's all he had up there. The steps going up was to the bedroom of the house, which was one room with an alcove for storage. And sometimes Robert slept with his feet outside, outside the window, as you can see behind me there. Now, like I say, it's still in the family. They still own it, and it's them what's let it in today, and we're going to film in there. So that's absolutely fantastic to do that. And along, if you can see there, along that side there would have been a row of cottages, like to the left of the property, and they were demolished. And to save, this was going to be demolished as well. The cottage, it survived only by being put into the Guinness Book of Records. It was inserted into the Guinness Book of Records as the smallest house in Great Britain. Now the dimensions of the house are 72 inches wide by 122 inches high, so it's deemed the smallest house in Great Britain, and that saved it really from being demolished. And it became a tourist attraction, and it's been a tourist attraction since. But that putting it into the Guinness Book of Records saved this from going. How sad would that have been to lose this house?
Not all that wonder are lost.
So we're here today. We're in the smallest house in Great Britain. It's an honour really to do it, because I was just talking to Jan, who actually owns a property, that I come here in the 60s as a kid, and probably the 70s as well. In the 80s I brought my children, Anthony and Alex, and in the 90s as well. So, and also Anthony's been here with Alex and my grandson Angus. So we've got like 3, maybe 4 generations, because my mum would have brought me, have come to this property, and I absolutely love it. And for what, I don't know, it's just a small little cottage in the middle of Wales on a quayside, but it's just got something about it. And what we're going to do today, we've got like a couple of hours in here, and we've set up the pendulum to see if we can get any movement as a trigger object. We've also got a couple of cat balls what we'll put there. We're just seeing if we can get any evidence at all today. We've got a Tesla plate which will pick up any sort of vibration or noise in here. So if I stop talking,
let me just turn that. Go on.
So if I stop talking, it'll pick up anything like that, like a tap or anything. It's very sensitive to pick that up. We've got the geo box. We're going to try and communicate with anybody who's lived here in the past. K2 meter, as you can see, it's made from the old walls of the castle, of the town walls. So we shouldn't really have any electromagnetic fields in here, and electrostatic as well. We shouldn't have any of that in there as well. Temperature gauge we've got, room temperature is 13.4 and it's at 60 degrees humidity, and we've also got the spirit box for, again, communication if we can get in it. And also we're going to do an EVP now. We're going to do a lone EVP. I mean it's only a small place. Anthony will film down here and I'll probably go upstairs or swap it about, and we'll do EVP sessions and see if we can pick anything up that way. So we just want to try and communicate with any spirits what lived in this cottage, please. Could you please try and communicate with us, please? We're here just to see if you still live or reside in this property. I've got some Welsh words written down. If you could, if you wanted me to speak a bit in Welsh. James. Here, James. Is that James? Did I hear the name James? Did I hear the name James then? I'd like to say Burada, please, if you can understand my English accent. Can you repeat after me, Burada? I'd like to say Shumai as well, please. Shumai, Burada. Could you please try and communicate with us? It's a bit weird, that. That don't usually happen, that. Not when it's fully charged. Maybe it's modern technology that these spirits in this house don't want us to use. I might be wrong. Might be it's me thinking too deeply. But don't forget, if these spirits are from the 1600s, they'll wonder what the hell this is.
The external sound mode.
Can you affect anything in the room, please? I'd like to say Burada Sitmai, which is an English translation of good morning, how are you? Shemai, did you hear Shemai then?
I don't know.
That sounded like Shemai. That sounded like Shemai. And Shemai is what I said before. Shemai is hello. Did you just say hello in Welsh? Shemai? And that said Shemai, I'm sure it did. I'm just about to go upstairs to the bedroom area. I'm going to do some EVPs on my own while I'm up there. It's a bit of a trek and a bit of a mission, and it helps if you're slim. Go on, you go up.
Up top. Oh, it's cold up here.
It is cold, isn't it? Jones?
I might be wrong, but as soon as I said it, I'm sure it said Jones.
What's your surname? And fucking hell. That's just been rocking.
I might be wrong, but as soon as I said it, I'm sure it said Jones.
What's your surname?
As soon as I said it, I'm sure it said Jones.
What's your surname?
It's moving, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely moving. But it's not picking up a vibration now. It seemed to vibrate the table, didn't it? Can I?
There we go.
Thank you. Can you do it again for us, please?
Did the Tesla pick that up then when it was moving?
I don't think it did. Whoa. Did you just move?
I'm not moving,
Oh.
all I'm doing is moving my arm. Just for the record, we're not moving at all. And I'm like stood on the ladders. So there's absolutely, the only thing that's moving are my arms.
That moved like side to side then. It's freezing up here. Is there any way you can communicate any other way? Could you light this up for me? Does that light up?
They light up together, I think.
1, 2, yeah. Keep trying to do it for us.
Moving mad, that innit?
Mm.
Go on, if you can knock it on the floor. I bet you can't do it.
Not us, is it?
Dad, we're not moving. You're stood still. You're not moving your feet. I'm stood up on this.
Try and move it for us.
Wow.
Thank you.
Go on, I bet you can't knock it off.
Oh, it's trying,
Wow.
and it's trying. Go on.
I bet you can't do it.
Just let us know that you're here.
I don't think you can do it.
It's going again.
Come on, mate.
I'm going to hold it for a bit. So Ant's there on the stairs. Got arm ache, and we're watching this ball. Can you move the ball for us, please? Thank you. That's moving. I can see it moving. Yeah, I can see it moving.
It is moving, isn't it?
Yeah. Could you go and stand near it? Could you be sort of like as a light? Go and stand near it.
Can you just make it turn one? Oh God. Can you make it just turn that once? You don't have to knock the whole ball over, but just make it, just roll
Just
once.
roll it.
Try your absolute hardest. Are you ready on my command? 1, 2, 3. It is, that is going. Go on, I know you can do it. You roll it to me and I'll roll it back.
Thank you. You're a little boy or girl, aren't you? I can tell. You're inquisitive with the ball.
If you're a male boy, can you rock the ball? If you're a female, if you're a little girl, can you rock the ball? Yeah,
Thank you.
moving. Thank you.
Look.
If you like us being here, can you rock the ball? Yeah, it's moving. You've seen it on the camera, yeah?
Yeah. It's harder to see. It's easier to see there.
I know. Wow.
Please, just take it if you want. If you're a little girl, you can have it. Do you like the colours of it?
What I'm gonna do is count. Whoa.
Can I?
Wow, that's rocking side to side now. I'm gonna count
That's going to move, that.
It is. I'm freezing.
I'm absolutely ice cold.
Is it recording? Let me see. Let me see if it turn it to me. Yeah. Right. I'm going to count, and when it gets to the number of your age, I want you to move the ball as hard as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did that move?
I didn't see it.
5.
It's moving.
6, 7. Are you 7? 7 years old? If you can you give me a big sign? Either move the ball as much as you can, or make a noise. Are you 7 years old?
Is that moving, isn't it?
Yeah. So we know that you're 7 years old now.
You used to live here with your mummy and daddy? Was your daddy a fisherman?
Are you from Conway? From Wales? Can you rock the ball if you love this house? Knocking on the wall.
That's all knocking on the door, no?
What it was like stone. Is this your bedroom?
Can you hear knocking?
Can you hear tapping?
So for the camera, we're getting tapping in the room.
Dad, it sounds like it's right next to me here.
Right.
Dad, it's tapping.
Put that Tesla plate on. So I'm just giving out, there's some knocking just near at the side of Anthony now. So we're just going to keep our eye on that there. As you can see, we're just hearing knocking from down there.
I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll put the Tesla plate. Just
So we're just going to leave the Tesla plate there because we're hearing knocking and this ball's going to go, I'm telling you, at any minute. There's a little girl we think is playing with this this toy. We think she may be 7. The communication we've got is we asked her to rock it on her age and it rocked at 7. So we're just assuming that it's a little girl aged 7 who wants to play with the ball.
Right, what I'm going to do is go through the alphabet now, and I want you to stop. I want you to move the ball when we hit your letter of your first name.
Do you know the letter of your first name? Yeah. Are you moving that for yes?
Right, okay. A, B, C, C. Is that C? K?
It's like a curly cur.
Yeah.
Yeah, C.
C.
So we're just we've left the upstairs now to see the little girl what we think might want to play with that ball upstairs. If we hear it go, then obviously it's she's flicked it or knocked it off the table. What we're going to do now is total darkness and just see if we can get any orbs or spirit lights. What maybe still in this room, maybe trying to go up the stairs. So we're just going to do an ask out session where if there's anybody here, could you show yourself in a light form, please?
The little girl from upstairs, can you come down and just show yourself as a spirit light or an orb?
Come and stand around us. We're just looking after your house today. Do you want to come downstairs? Show us where you used to sit. You used to sit on this bench. If I sit here, can you come and sit next to me? Your mum used to cook your dinner or something to eat on this stove, on this fire. Did you play outside on the quayside? We've got another ball down here. Do you want to play with that one if you're down here with us? Fucking hell. Did you just turn that on? Did you just turn this on? Can you try and show yourself as a light form? Come down the stairs. Come towards the fire or the bench. Try and communicate with us. Hold my hands out. Can you come and touch my hands? Come over to us, show yourself as a light form.
Yeah, I've
Got one.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Not like a bacon butter in Conway the first thing in the morning.
But there's nothing worse than dropping part of your bacon butter.
Yeah. Hit the deck.
Firstly,
You've got brown sauce in yours? I haven't got any brown sauce.
no.
Steve loves the bacon butter. I did like the bacon butter.